Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for for tuning into this week's read. There we go. I'm going to use the Vice Versa Tarot for the main tarot cards. It's by, and I brutalized this, fair warning, I'm going to brutalize this bad. Massimiliano Filodoro. Artwork by David Corsi, I think. I want you to see the spelling though. That way, if you want this deck or you want to see these artists or other things they've done, you can see the spelling and find that stuff. That's the point of that. Alright, so the supportive oracle cards, Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards by Tori Hartman, illustrated by Gretchen Raish Baskin. I know I'm brutalizing that name too. But again, want you to be able to see the names, the artists, the creators, and find them if you wish. If you like their artwork or what they're doing, or you like the deck, I want you to be able to find it. That's the whole point. Anyway, what do we got for Aries? I want to do this. Oh, we got a lot of weird... Okay. Like, this deck gets very to the point. It doesn't really mess around a lot. It just kind of like, this is what I'm telling you, and that's what it is. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens. It gets very pointed, though. Now, when this is starting off, I want to be careful how I say this, because I do have an Aries moon myself, so I have some Aries energy that's notable, I've been told. I tend to get right to the point, and I've been told once or twice that I could have a little bit more tact. Ironically, although I think I'm good in my readings. Anyway, you got... This is actually the back side of the wheel, but you're noticing, at least I noticed, that there's a magician there. That looks like a magician in the back, but this is the face, this is the actual card, it's the Wheel of Fortune. You're getting the back here. But they're saying when this starts, when this moment, if you're at this moment now, they're saying you were going to create something with where you're going with this. It's kind of like, it looks like a twist of fate, and fate is taking you somewhere, but they're saying you're creating your own fate here, and they're warning you. You also got Vanity with the Four of Wands. It's the back of the Four of Wands. There's the front part. So that you have the back of it and it's upside down. They're kind of saying you're creating something that's going to self-destruct. The thing is, this may not be bad, is my first thought. This may not be bad. It may be something short-lived, but you might get a lot of benefit out of that. And they're just trying to like give you a heads up, like, look back at where this started, and if you can see where you helped create it, this gives you a lot of power. A lot of advantage. Kind of like, okay, I did that. Yeah, that didn't last very long. But what? See, because there's joy here. Somebody's standing in your way. And I feel like you're kind of like, I'm not putting up with that. This is a lot of it. Like, this first part is really complicated in my opinion, because you're creating something, you're creating your own fate, something that's not going to last, and the Vanity card makes me feel like something has ticked you off because it's not letting you do what you want to do, and you're like, that's not right. You're forcing me over here, and that's not right. Like, Aries doesn't deal... I don't think Aries deals well. It's one of the few signs that does not deal well with other people controlling them. It's just... that's going to be one of those hot buttons for Aries. Usually, I mean, let me know in the comments, but that's a hot button for Aries. Somebody tries to control you... Ooh, you're pushing your... Oh, yeah. Okay, you think so. We'll see. Thing is, you got joy here with impasse. Somebody's trying to control you. Things are good with them on the surface, but you're not happy with this. You're like, no, people controlling me. No, we don't do that. I'm not. No, that's not going to work. Even if you wanted to, for whatever reason, you couldn't do it for long. It's just Aries does not have the ability to let that happen. It's just, even if you want to, and somebody makes the good argument like why you should let that happen, it's going to have a shelf life, and you're just not going to be able to stand it. It's just not going to work. So somebody's forcing you into like some type of box, and you're like, no. So this keeps going for a little while. But the thing is, what keeps you going as an Aries is I'm getting like you're plotting and you're thinking, and you're just like, we're not going to keep this. But you're not going to let somebody get the better of you. You're like, right now you might have the upper hand. Right now you might be keeping me in place. But I'm looking for my out. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. And you know what? When I do go, I don't care what that does to you, because this isn't right. So I'm going to go when it's best for me. You're not going to get the better of me. And I feel like that's the Aries energy I'm feeling. Kind of like, no, you're not going to get the better of me. And you're not going to force me to do anything beyond what I have to do. But even that has a shelf life. And I'm going to find my way out, and you're going to get yours. And I feel like that energy's there. Like, you're going to get yours. I don't take that well. I don't let people tell me what to do. I don't like that. It's not going to work. I'm not that person. Trickery is here with the forgiveness. And the trickery thing is like, you feel like somebody trying to control you is really underhanded. That is really unscrupulous. So it's kind of like, whatever I have to do to get myself out from under this control, it's kind of like all's fair in love and war. Kind of like, I'm not going to play by their rules, because that'll give them more power to control me. If I have to do something a little shady to get myself free of this, then that's what I have to do. You can tell me in the comments if you think I'm wrong. Like, let me know. Aries, if you're an Aries, you know better than I do, clearly. But I'm getting like, if you're forcing me and you're using the rules against me to keep me down, I'll work around that, because I'm not going to put up with that. I'm not going to do that. Nope. Nope. If you're forcing me to even go that far to get out from under this, then that's what I got to do. And I'm getting like, the trickery with the forgiveness is kind of like, if I have to do that, then I have to do that. I can't just let you manipulate me and hold me down and use the rules against me. If I have to work around that and change rules and just break rules, if I have to break rules, then I will break rules. Besides, not for nothing, a lot of times the Aries energy looks at the rule book, like, whose rules are those? Like, this rule book, whose rules are those? Who wrote those rules? I didn't write those rules. So, you know, maybe those are your rules, but doesn't mean I have to adhere to them just because you made some rules. That's strong. It's kind of like, yeah, who made those rules? They don't. Just because you have rules doesn't mean I have to follow them. Okay. It's strong because I'm getting like really aggravated. Like, I don't like this idea of somebody controlling this. No. It's really like agitating me. It's funny because it's like the energy is strong. You're not about it. These cards that are coming in, I'm noticing this is interesting. These are both of these are pages right here. And then you got the self-worth. You're taking your time. The back of the page of Cups reversed, that's telling me be aware of your emotions. Don't let your anger get the better of you, because it could here. Because that's highly offensive. When somebody tries to control Aries, it's highly offensive. And you can get easily very offended. You can even kind of trip into the revenge mode. Be careful of it. Because it might double back on you. You don't want to give anybody else any type of advantage on you. And that's the thing sometimes with Aries, when people realize what trips your switch, they can set you up and make sure that goes off to their advantage when it's best for them. Be aware of it. Keep it together, because a lot of times I think Aries, your face probably says a lot. You might have had people comment to you in your life, like your face says how you're feeling. You might smile and nod and say the right polite words. You might even be at that point in life where you can say those polite words, but your face is saying, if you're unhappy, your face is giving that look without problem. So be careful of it if you're in that boat. Because you're about to go into this part with the back of the Page of Wands, which there's the front of it. But the back of it is telling me the Phoenix is about to rise again. Because that Phoenix is really strong. You got to be careful with the Phoenix energy, though. Because anybody who is aware of Phoenix energy, it rises from the ashes, burns bright, burns out, and returns to ashes. Like in the beginning, this is going to be short-lived. We're in that mode. I'm just saying, be aware of it. As long as you know, you can plan it, you can do what you need to do. You just need to know. You need to know. So keep that in mind. This is not permanent, whatever this is, and you will get the upper hand for at least a moment. But when you get that upper hand again, you want to disconnect from that Phoenix energy and go somewhere else. You want to disconnect from this situation. You don't want to go rise high and then just return to ashes. You want to like dismount the Phoenix like you could ride a Phoenix. I mean, I know. But still, you want to dismount that situation and go somewhere else with it. You don't want to return back to ashes. Be aware of that. Because I'm getting people like watching what's going on. And I feel like when I'm seeing this card here, it's the back of the Nine of Pentacles, but I'm getting that look like somebody's looking out at what's going on. And somebody's planning what they want to do next, right? How you're handling this, people are noticing. People are very much noticing how you're handling this. And other people are taking notes. There's the breaking of a cycle, the breaking of history here. I feel like it's the breaking of history. Even though it's the Six of Pentacles reversed. Is it the front side? It is I think that is the front side, actually. It's the breaking of a pattern is what I'm getting. And it's coming through destruction is what it feels like to me. The Ten of Swords is not a fun card. So somebody's getting their just due. It's not you. I feel like it's somebody else. But again, you're rising from the ashes. Be careful of that Phoenix energy. Mysticism is here. You have the ability to not continue this cycle because you're breaking the rules a little bit. So you have the opportunity to break this. Mysticism is kind of like, are you going to? If you get sucked into that Phoenix energy, which is highly addictive, rising from the ashes, burning bright, and then returning to the ashes. You don't want to return to the ashes. Keep that in mind. When this situation plays out, and you're up at your high point, you got to be aware that like, okay, this is temporary. I'm temporarily riding the high of the wave. If a surfer, like you don't permanently surf at the high point of the wave. It only lasts for so long. You know what I mean? You're at the high point of that wave. You're riding that wave. It's going to crash or it's going to finish off at some point. It's not going to be permanent. So when you're there, this is the point where you need to really like look and like, wait a minute. It's not going to last forever. You have to remember that. This is is that the Death card? Yep, the Death card upside down is telling me you might get it to last a little while. But when the Death card is reversed, a lot of times it's just kind of like a waste day. Kind of like, I don't mean to be, this is probably going to sound morbid, but it's what I'm getting. Like when somebody has a heart attack, but they end up on life support, you know what I mean? They're not technically dead yet, but how much longer are they going to last? Like if it's like they have really like they do the tests and they're like, oh yeah, you got some bad things going on here, and they find all these other bad problems. It's kind of like this Death card reverse is kind of like, well, it didn't take you down just yet, but you don't got much time left. That's what this is saying. I know that was a morbid way to put that. That's what came through. I'm just going to be. You got the Knight of Wands coming in with the perception. You're gonna have a moment. It's a short window where you can get out of this cycle, and you need to get out of the cycle. What it is depends on your life, but you're gonna see a place where it's kind of like I'm riding the high of the wave, and I want to keep doing that, but it's kind of like, all right, I can dismount this wave, and maybe I can leave the beach and go somewhere else. It's kind of that feeling, kind of like I'm gonna stop surfing. This wave was the best wave I'm going to get. If I keep going back out trying to find better waves or keep riding the waves, it's not going to be good anymore. It's like, I don't know what to say. It's just like it's not going to be good anymore. You're not going to catch any more good waves. It's going to, like, this is your high point. It's kind of like, all right, when this wave is over, go to the beach and then get out. Go do something else. Go play volleyball. I don't know if that sounds dumb, but you know what I mean? Do something else. Dismount from the situation. You're going to have a short window where some type of opportunity will come to you. And I feel like for those of you this is going to hit for, the opportunity, when it shows itself, it's just not as exciting. It's kind of like surfing versus like bike riding, surfing versus volleyball. Like, I don't know, some people like volleyball, but you know, it's not as exciting, but it still can be a good time. It's just switching modes. You know what I mean? And deciding, that's not as fun, that it's not as much enjoyable. It's not as enjoyable, but it's still good. I still like that, just not as enjoyable. Take that opportunity. Go for it. Because, like it says, this has a shelf life. This energy is around you too, by the way. The back of the Five of Cups upside down. Which is like, I don't feel like people are upset with you, really, but there's a lot of gossip. Whatever you did to balance things out, I feel like some people are very tickled and amused. But you don't want to, like, this is a troublemaker energy is what I'm also getting. You want to dismount from this too. Like, some people are very tickled and amused that you got the upper hand at this point. It's temporary, remember that. And these people, and you got to take it with a grain of salt. Like, look at your history with these people and look how they follow things. Like, are they your friend for now, or are they ride and die? Most of them are not going to be ride and die. Which, you know, ride or die, I'm probably not using that term right. I think that's like, when you say ride or die, that means they're either going to be there, if they're not there, they physically can't be. Like, they passed on. I think that's what that is. But anyway, don't get sucked, don't play into that energy. Because it's a little addictive. 9, is that the 9? I think that is the 9. 9 of Wands reversed. 6 of Cups. The back side or the front? I think that is the front. It's one of the challenges of this deck. I'm just connecting to the energy. You can end this story. It's no longer time to hold it anymore. Now that you've rose again, now you got to get out of it. You got the upper hand for now. Now it's time to get out of it. Get out. Get out. There's no reason to keep going other than at the moment that this is happening and you get your chance to leave. It does feel good. I know it does. But it's like, just, you don't go back to the ashes. Yeah, you'll rise again, but it's a cycle that will really wear you out. It's just rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall. I'm saying, get out of it. When you step out of it, it's going to take a while to really dissipate and go completely away. But when you step out of it, you get off the wave, you go ride a bike or play volleyball, whatever your analogy is. It'll slowly dissipate, but it will be done. It will be done. We good? We good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.